Hello there. It's a familiar sight, isn't it? The poinsettia, with its magnificent flush of scarlet pink creamy white bracts, has become as much a part of the Christmas decoration as the tree itself. But what happens when the festive season draws to a close? All too often, these lovely plants are relegated to the compost heap once their colour begins to fade. I've always thought this a dreadful shame. The poinsettia, Euphorbia pulcherrima, a perennial shrub capable of living for many years. With a bit of gentle encouragement from you, it can be coaxed into full glory again and again. Saving a poinsettia is a wonderfully rewarding bit of gardening. It connects you to the rhythm of the plant's life beyond a few weeks in December. The process isn't nearly as complicated as some might have you believe. It simply requires a little understanding of what the plant needs and when. Our main goal: keep the plant healthy and happy throughout the year, building strength for next holiday's colour. By giving it the right conditions, you work in partnership with nature. The changing light periods of rest nourishment it needs. There's no need for fancy equipment or specialist knowledge. A sunny windowsill, a watering can, a bit of dedication. It's a lovely, slow project that unfolds over a year. The journey begins in the quiet, often grey days of January. As the bright bracts, modified leaves, not flowers, fade and drop, the plant enters a period of semi-dormancy. This is a time for rest and recuperation after blooming. Your role is to provide a calm, stable environment. Don't fuss, just allow it to settle. That gentle start sets the stage for active growth in spring and a vibrant return of colour next winter. Once the festive cheer has subsided, usually around late January or into February, you will notice your poinsettia looking a little tired. The coloured bracts will curl and fall. This is the time to reduce your watering schedule. Allow the top inch of the compost to become properly dry to the touch or two before you give it any more water. When you do water, do so thoroughly until it runs from the drainage holes, but be absolutely certain not to leave the pot sitting in a saucer of water. This is the cardinal sin for most houseplants, leading to root rot, which is often fatal. The plant will appreciate a bright spot, but one that is out of the harsh glare of direct midday sun, which can scorch its leaves. An east-facing windowsill is often ideal, or a west-facing windowsill. Keep it in a room with a steady temperature, well away from drafty doors, open windows, or the dry heat blasting from a radiator. Poinsettias are not fond of sudden changes in their environment. Let the plant rest in these conditions through the rest of the winter. You are simply keeping it ticking over, allowing it to gather its strength for the work ahead in spring. Come March or April, as you see the first real stirrings of life in the garden outside, it is time for a bit of tough love. It might feel brutal, but it is essential for encouraging strong, bushy new growth. Using a clean, sharp pair of secateurs or scissors, cut all the stems back to about 4 to 6 inches. That's about 10 to 15 centimetres from the base. You'll be left with a rather sad-looking collection of stumps, but have faith. This dramatic haircut stimulates the plant to break new buds from the old wood. After pruning, you can continue with the same watering routine. But as new leaves begin to unfurl, you can start to think about feeding. This is the signal that the plant's growing season has begun. It's now hungry for nutrients to support all that new growth. You don't need anything special. A standard, balanced liquid houseplant fertilizer will do the job perfectly. Begin feeding it at half strength every couple of weeks, adding it to the water you give the plant. This gentle but regular feeding will build a strong framework of healthy leaves and stems throughout the summer. As spring progresses into summer, your poinsettia will transform from a collection of bare sticks into a handsome leafy green plant. This is its green phase, a time for photosynthesis and storing energy. If the plant has become quite large and you notice its roots are tightly packed in its pot, you can check by gently sliding it out. Now is a good time to repot it. Choose a new pot that is only 1 inch wider in diameter than the current one. Choose a new pot that is 2 inches wider in diameter than the current one. Going too large can mean the compost stays wet for too long, which risks root rot. Use a good quality, peat-free potting compost. When repotting, gently tease out the roots at the bottom of the root ball and place the plant in its new home, ensuring it sits at the same depth it was in the old pot. Backfill with fresh compost, firming it in gently with your fingertips to remove any large air pockets. Give it a good watering to help it settle in, and then place it back in its bright spot. You can even move the plant outdoors to a sheltered, lightly shaded patio for the summer if you wish, but be sure to bring it back inside before the first autumn chills. To encourage a full, bushy shape rather than a tall, leggy one, you can pinch out the growing tips of the new stems. Do this a couple of times between June and August. Simply use your thumb and forefinger to nip off the very end of each main shoot. This encourages the plant to produce side shoots, and more shoots ultimately mean more sites for those colourful bracts to form later in the year. It is a simple technique that makes a remarkable difference to the final appearance of your plant, creating a dense and compact crown. During this period, it is also wise to keep a watchful eye out for any unwelcome visitors. Pests like whitefly and mealybugs can sometimes take a liking to the tender new growth of a poinsettia. Check the undersides of the leaves regularly. If you spot any pests, you can often deal with them by simply wiping them off with a damp cloth or spraying the plant with a simple solution of soapy water. Good air circulation around the plant will also help to deter these problems from taking hold in the first place. A healthy, well-cared-for plant is always its own best defense. Here, we arrive at the most crucial part of the process, the bit that feels like a gardener's secret trick. To get your poinsettia to produce its colored bracts, you must replicate the conditions of a Central American autumn. This means short days and long, uninterrupted nights. The plant is what we call photoperiodic. Flowering is triggered by daylight length. From the beginning of October, your poinsettia needs at least 14 hours of complete, total darkness every day. The easiest method is an unused, lightless cupboard or spare room. Each evening, around 5 p.m., move the plant into the dark space. Each morning, around 7 or 8 a.m., bring it back out to the windowsill. Absolute, uninterrupted darkness is the key. Even a brief flash, a door opening or a street lamp through a gap, can disrupt it. No dark room. Cover the plant with a large cardboard box or a thick black bin liner. Ensure it's big enough not to crush leaves and blocks all light. Be disciplined. Keep this up daily for 8 to 10 weeks. Continue watering as normal, but stop feeding the plant. The plant diverts energy into developing bracts, not green growth. After several weeks, you'll see the first hint of colour on the uppermost leaves. It's an exciting moment. Once the bracts clearly show colour, stop the nightly migration. The job is done. Leave the plant in its bright daytime spot full time. Resume normal watering. The bracts will deepen and expand. You have guided the plant through its full annual cycle. As your poinsettia approaches its peak colour, it is important to maintain good care to ensure it looks its best throughout the holiday season. Continue to provide it with bright, indirect light and keep it away from those temperature extremes we talked about. A common problem at this stage is leaf drop, which can be caused by a number of stresses. Sudden changes in temperature, being placed in a draft, incorrect watering, too much, incorrect watering, too little. Try to keep its environment as stable as possible to avoid this. If you do notice any yellowing leaves at the base of the plant, simply remove them to keep the plant looking tidy and to improve air circulation. This is also a good time to have one final check for pests before you give the plant pride of place amongst your decorations. Whiteflies are particularly fond of poinsettias. They look like tiny white moths that fly up in a cloud when the plant is disturbed. A quick spray with a houseplant-safe insecticide or soapy water should see them off before they become a major issue. A timeline for these key actions can be very helpful. From January to March, it is a period of rest with reduced watering. In April, give it the hard prune. From May to August, it is the growing season, a time for regular feeding, watering, and repotting if needed. Then, from late September or early October, begin the crucial short-day treatment of 14 hours of darkness for 8 to 10 weeks. By following this simple calendar, you give the plant exactly what it needs at each stage of its life, making success far more likely. There is a real sense of accomplishment in seeing those bracts unfurl for a second time, a splash of brilliant colour that you have personally nurtured into existence. It is a testament to your care and patience. Your poinsettia is no longer a temporary decoration, but a returning friend, ready to brighten the darkest days of winter once more. With these simple steps, you can look forward to the quiet satisfaction of seeing those first new flushes of colour appear again next year.